Hello and welcome to today's Starseed Healing Circle. Yes, I look a little bit like a helicopter pilot today. I'm just trying out a new mic to see how it works. This is normally the headphones I use for my editing, but let's try out the mic and see how it goes. So in today's session, we're doing a DNA activation. That'll be one part or one component. And then we are superimposing on top of that a meditation. So you'll be doing a meditation on the side while I'm doing the work. And the meditation work is based on the Alice Bailey stuff, which is usually quite deep. So I've condensed it down to make it a bit easier. We're working with the divine will today, and our main purpose is to purify. So let's start with our tune in. We're using the light code for intuitive action today. So let's close our eyes and let's settle in. And just think about what you would like to receive, release, heal, clear, or manifest in your world for today's session. Bearing in mind that we are working with DNA activation, so we're activating your potential. And we're working with divine will to purify. So as we purify, we can make space for something new to come in. When you're ready, open your eyes and allow your eyes to rest lightly on the light code, or perhaps trace the lines, imagining that it is a labyrinth for the eyes. No need to translate, to interpret. Just allow your eyes to land where they do, focusing on your goal or your focus for today. And you may spend as much time here as you need. So when you're ready, we are going to move on. So in today's session, we'll be playing the DNA repair track that I recently released in the background. If the track is not long enough to fill up the space, I will double it up or something. So we'll see how that goes. And this track was written specifically with repairing the DNA and harmonizing the DNA. So it's working with a solfeggio frequency of 5 to 8, and then there's theta waves overlaid on top of it, which takes you into a very deep meditative state. Theta is obviously also a very deep healing state. So if you find that during this meditation you zonk out and you don't remember what I said, or you come out the other side and go like, whoa, what just happened? That's okay, because whatever work we do will go through on the subconscious level. So I've already dowsed to see what we need to do for the codons. So in the DNA activation, we normally work on the spine, and there's 12 points that we work on, excluding the opening and closing codons. So these are access ports or access points to the different energies within the DNA. Now, the opening and closing codons, these are just in place to say this is where the sequence starts and this is where the sequence ends. And then each of the 12 codons are associated with different aspects of the physical body and also the spiritual body. And I dowsed to see what Wands of Horus cards come up. Now I've got my chart that I'm working on with my wand, but just for screen purposes, I'm putting just the image on so that you can follow along with the meanings of all of these points. So I'm not going to go into opening and closing. The opening and closing are standard. We've got the divine masculine on the opening codon and the divine feminine on the closing codon, which means the energy is coming from the active masculine through into the passive receptive feminine. So we're pulling all the energies in. And then I'll go through each of the codons, numbered 1 through to 12, and we will discuss just briefly what each of these mean. So the first codon has the Radiance card, and the Radiance card brings a lot of pure, white, clear energy in. It brings radiance in, as the name suggests. Now, the codon 1 is about the mind processes. So it's about our junk that we store, our junk addictions, our issues that we carry around with us. Old childhood stuff sits in this codon. If the energy is low in this particular one, then we've got a lot of addictions and issues and stuff that we need to deal with. If the energy is full over here, then it creates, it brings through a very creative energy. It allows us to be spiritually connected and to step into our artistic, what do we call it, gifts and patterns. So we can let go of old and limiting beliefs, and we can have an opportunity to create new patterns and beliefs that will better serve us. The second codon is associated with thoughts, and we have the breath card over here. The breath card reminds us to breathe, as the name suggests, but it's also about bringing oxygen into the body and revitalizing things. So if we combine the breath card with the thought card, this is really about bringing a new, fresh, clean energy in. Codon 2 can also store addictive and habitual thinking patterns. And when the energy is low in this particular codon, it's about fear and paranoia, compulsions, the ego, low self-esteem, and things like that. Of course, when we have all of these things, we strive for perfectionism. So if you've got this perfectionistic streak in you, I know I've got a bit of that, then that could indicate that we're working with the ego or the self-esteem side. So what we do with this particular one, affirmations are a great way to deal with and work with the energies in here. Positive thinking. Of course, as we know, affirmations don't always work well for us because we may have this idea of like, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, but the body says, no, 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 I don't believe that. And so I like to use something like, I love myself even if I don't know how to. Or I always have lots of money even if I don't know how to. Or I am a great artist even if I don't know how to. Whatever affirmation you use, if you add on even if I don't know how to, then we're putting that affirmation at 0 point and makes it easier for the body to digest or take it in. Okay, codon 3 is about the nervous system. And here we have the Djed pillar. Djed pillar is the backbone of Osiris, and this is about restructuring, anchoring, repair, and balancing, and regeneration. So the nervous system codon is about where we would store any nervous related things. So things like ADHD, depression, bipolar, and things like that all sits here. So if the energy is low, of course, we lean more towards that side. If the energy is full, then we access the God mind. We're accessing our higher self, our upper mind. We're working with our IQ and neurotransmitters. So this is really about working through the heart space with our higher self. This is also a center where mind control could be indicative. So if there's any mind control patterns, by working on this particular codon, we're releasing those patterns. Codon 4 is about the brain. And here, if the energy is low, it's about resistance. It could be even physical pain or difficult situations or blocked feelings, sensations of feeling blocked and not quite in control. The card that we have here is Ren, and Ren is the true name. So I would see this as a reminder of our true self, our who we are as a being beyond this physical body. Then our next codon, number 5, is associated with the blood system. This one usually drains out quite fast for most people. And this is very strongly associated with the sexual organs, with the digestive system, and the blood, of course. We have the Ankh over here. which is life. So for me, this is a really good one to have because it indicates that we've got that life force energy coming in. If the energy is low within this particular codon, it could be that there's that you perhaps struggle to connect with your higher self, or perhaps even your lower self, connecting with the underworld, upper world, and things like that. So the more we start working with our higher self, the less the ego can get in the way. And so the ego and higher self and that connection sits here in the blood system as well. Then codon 6 is about the respiratory system. And this is also the immune system and cardiovascular system. And I just love this card, especially if it comes up in this location. This particular card is the Union card. And this is the actual hieroglyph, the ancient Egyptian hieroglyph for union. And what makes it so beautiful, I always rave about this because I just think it's such an ingenious design, where we've got the esophagus, you've got the mouth up there, which looks more like a rectangle, but anyway, you've got your esophagus, and it goes into the heart at the bottom. And on either side of the heart, there's two pots. And out of the pot, there's a lotus flower growing. And out of the esophagus, there's a lotus flower growing. And it's this connection. So this union of the lotus flowers, which is also representative of the outside world, uniting with our inside world, our inner world, the heart. So I absolutely love this particular glyph. And so to have this in the respiratory system, which is associated with the immune system and cardiovascular system, it's just like, wow. And I'll just remind you again, when I do these things, I douse and I sort of almost closed eyes. I don't check what card goes where, and I don't check what codon I'm out on, and I don't analyze anything. I'm doing the analysis right now as I'm speaking to you here and now. So this is just beautiful. So for this card to come up in the respiratory system would indicate that probably the energy is perhaps a little bit too low, and we need to just bring that balance in. If the energy is low here, it's that ability to give and give and give. And I know we're all good at giving, but are we good at receiving? So we need to bring that balance between giving and receiving. So this particular one is about the physical body, our desires. It could also indicate forgiveness work. Or anything to do with respiration, breathing, shallow breathing perhaps. So perhaps a good idea to really focus on your breath while we work, to deepen the breath and become more conscious with your breathing. Then codon 7 is associated with the first 3 layers of the auric field, our working aura as we call it. And here we have the Ib card, and Ib is associated with the heart. The heart, of course, I think fits quite well in with this layering because it really puts us at the heart of the matter. The 7th codon is sort of right in the center of this whole pattern that we're working with. Now, if the energy is low here, it could be like sort of drama-related stuff, avoidance patterns, perhaps even unresolved anger, or this conflict issues, things that need more light, or things that need to come to the surface. In ancient Egyptian mythologies, your heart is what is weighed up when you go to the underworld. It's weighed against the feather of truth to see whether you've lived a good life. So here we're wanting to empty out our heart of all of this unresolved anger issues or anything that needs to come to the surface so that we can grow spiritually and step back onto our spiritual journey. The 8th codon is associated with the layers 4 through to 7 in the auric field. We call it the soul aura. And here we have the synchronicity card. For me, when the synchronicity card comes up, it could either be an indication that we're on the right track, everything's in place, everything's hunky-dory, or it could indicate that things need to be on track. It needs to be pulled into that direction. So because we're working here with the soul aura, with the auric field itself, anything that's buried within the auric field, and when we talk about buried, we don't normally think inside, but an auric field buried could be on the outside layers. So it could be buried traumas and stuff, so old stuff, also very, very old stuff. Or it could be holes in the auric field. Most people don't have a nice, strong cocoon around the body. They've got these sort of wispy open auric fields. And so what we want to do is we want to strengthen that. And so with the synchronicity card here, it's also to be open and mindful to synchronicities that can help to bring that stability to the auric field. Codon 9 is about the muscles and the bones, and here we are working with the element of fire, so we're going into the elemental system over here. When our fire is lacking, then we can lack light, or we can sit with inertia. There could be idleness or apathy. Here we have, again, an amazing card combination for this is we've got the Khat, which is the physical body. So we're working with muscles and bones over here, which is obviously physical. I don't think we can get any more physical than that. And so I think that what's happening here is a pulling back towards our physical body, a reminder of our physical body. And so this particular codon could lack light. When we're lacking light in the specific codon, it could be about lacking pride or lacking fire, that passion that we need. It's about lacking energy in general. And there are ways that you could introduce this or bring this in for yourself, just normally, which is sunlight, of course, fire, candles. So like having a fireplace, if you don't have a fireplace, lighting a candle every day. If there's sunlight, to spend some time in the sunlight. All of those things will activate our fire and help our physical body. Then our next codon down, number 10, is associated with the element of air, and that's associated with the skin system, so the integumentary system. So skin system is also your hair, nails, and anything on the outside of the body. The physical, or the skin is also like a facade. So this could be about authenticity and vulnerability, and it could also be about deceptions and lies. This could be about deceptions and lies, even if it's towards others or whether it's towards yourself. It doesn't really matter. Anything where we can lie to ourselves or to others could sit in this particular codon. Also very strongly associated with breathing and breath, because we're obviously working with air. And so the card that we have here is the awareness card. So it's about bringing our awareness to these internal deceptions and lies, whether it's something that's really small, something that's big, something that we need to get off the chest, or perhaps awareness around our breath. As we work more with this particular codon, we can activate and stimulate telepathy, reason, logic, memory, and all of those things. So this is a really nice one to work. And I think to bring the awareness here is also a little like ding, 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 look over here moment. Then we've got codon 11, which is about your will and reproductive system associated with the water element. And here we have Sekhem, or power. Again, an amazing card to have here. When the energy is low in this particular codon, there could be etheric crystals within the body. If that happens, it could be because you're not drinking enough water. So really, really important to uptake your water intake. On my side, I'm using pH 10 water, 10 pH, however you say it. So very, very alkaline water and ionized water, because the body can absorb that readily and easily. And you'll find that when you drink this water, you're almost thirsty when you're done drinking and you want to have more. It's unlike things like maybe reverse osmosis water, where you drink and then you feel satisfied. But reverse osmosis, everything's been taken out of the water, so you're not really absorbing it fully. So I'd recommend looking into something like your 10 pH or 11 pH water, and just seeing what you can do around that. So here, obviously working with the reproductive system, we're looking at lust, and this could be about not just sexual lust, but just lust in general, like perhaps a sensation that we don't have enough, whether it is possessions or food or sex or whatever it is, or loss of control, or loss of willpower or abundance. And so as we fill up this codon, we can open up more to abundance, we can open up more to feeling enough or having enough. And we can also step into our emotional expression. And then our final codon, the 12th codon, this is about intuition and the third eye, and it's associated with the earth element. Now, usually when we work with DNA activation, this particular codon is very rarely active. We have done a DNA activation before, so for the ones who've done that, this particular codon for you will be a little more healthier and will probably be a little bit more active. For the ones who have not done the DNA activation before, this is definitely something that may be a little bit low. And so what we want to do here is, with this particular energy, we've got the fire card here, and fire it's actually a nice one here because it lights that fire. It also shows that perhaps the energy is quite low in this particular one. If the energy is low here, it could make us possessive or selfish, maybe a little bit Scrooge-ish or hoardish. Hoardish, is that a word? Like hoarding. So what we want or what we need here is healthy living. We're wanting to bring balance in. And so, yeah, we have this fire that we're bringing in to bring us some more energy into this position. So that is all of our codons. And now that we know what we're working with, or that's what I'm going to be working with in the background, I'm going to be taking us through our meditation. And I would suggest you find a nice, calm space where you can do this. It will probably not be too long, probably about maybe 15 minutes or so. I'll try and keep it as short as possible. And you want to be undisturbed, of course. You want to sit, perhaps lie down, and yeah, well, I'll leave it at that. So I'll see you on the other side. Finding yourself in a relaxed state. Close your eyes and breathe slow and deep. And we want to create a great shift. We have put out a call to those of you who are ready for this shift. We're working with divine will. You are ready to let go of any lesser patterns or hindrances so that we can live in the light. So growing very still within, bring your energy back to yourself, becoming very centered in your own being, feeling very comfortable in your body, very relaxed and at peace. And sensing that core light within you, imagine that you can sense the pure light that makes up your innermost being. And your energy is very flowing. And as we work with the angel of the presence, if you would like to use any spaces or frequencies to enhance your ability to sense these energies, do so as you feel directed from within. Any other tools that you may have, let them come into your awareness throughout this journey, enhancing your ability to see the subtle energies and the angel of the presence. You are now lifting into the dimensions of light. We are calling to you the angel of the presence, your soul, a great radiant being, This angel is coming closer and closer. Hand to hand you stand with the angel, face to face, eye to eye. The strength and the power of this angel pours into you. Receive it now. The love and the wisdom of this angel is being sent to you now, pouring it into you. Receive this now. Waves of love and wisdom combined with strength and power. As you stand in the radiant field of light around the angel of the presence, the angel is going to transmit divine will to you. And one of the aspects of divine will is that it changes the pattern. Without divine will, the pattern stays the same. So the angel is going to transmit the divine pattern, the patterns of beauty and perfection of being. As these divine patterns meet the lesser patterns open up and become more beautiful. Let this happen now as the divine pattern comes from within you and transforms all the lesser patterns of your thoughts and feelings. Feel the lesser patterns. They are beautiful in their own way. They are just not complete. They are beginning to become more complete. The way you think, your connection to your higher self, all the patterns of your personality are coming up. The angel is going to transmit even more divine will and even more of its power. So imagine that you are now in a state of receiving. Feel that core light within you, the very presence of your being. Focus on that. The angel now begins to transmit the pure, divine will. It is a force that moves energy, an electrical force, a force that is undefendable, undeflectable, the power of creation. Sense that core light within you, growing more visible, more intense and brilliant. It is a type of radiance within you. It is not a fire by friction of personality, but the fire of the solar light that unifies, that carries with it power to transform. As this transmission of will grows stronger, let it come straight down to the base of your spine. Imagine it as a flame, a very, very gentle flame, just the right amount. It's rising up from the base of your spine and going up through the top of your head. This is the flame of purification. It is the flame that removes the lesser energies, It is the flame of restoration. It restores the divine plan of your life for your body. This flame burns away all that is not essential, all that is taking away from your life force energy. The angel is with you, adjusting this so that you are taking in just the right amount of energy. You are absorbing this will of strength, courage, and fearlessness. The will to initiate the new. With this will comes more awareness of the divine purpose. Divine purpose holds the patterns, the beauty, and the order, and the unity and the love that all life is evolving into. This is the will that knows no obstacles. It finds the shortest path to the goal. It cuts through all hindrances. It is unstoppable, and it is the will to good. Let this will come into your body, to your breathing, to your eyes, to your throat. The sense of the power of love. Beautiful. So let's come back now and hold this space. And I bid you good day for now.